let me ask you, you have mom and dads that have total different views on how the some dads are trying to push kids out of tutorial mode. Like, look, listen, I done taught you. You are grown. I done teach you what I need to teach you. You're not gonna be, just you're not gonna baby him all the way through. You're not gonna just be saving him all the way through. No, he has to be a man. He has to be, or she has to be a woman, and understand the world is not going to be forgiving. The world is not you, mom, or the world is not you, dad. That's just because I have a lot of friends that are like, oh, well, my boys, I'm going to be hard on them. And my girls, I'm going to be a sweetheart. They're going to be angels. And I'm like, uh, you're supposed to treat them the same. Like, you got to give them a little bit of both. You got to give them loving and all of that, but you got to give them structure and discipline to both. Because
Right.
what do you think? You think the world is going to be you to them? Like, this doesn't work that way. It's so, but they have allowed, and I'm watching my boys have these conversations about kids that are 2, 3, 4 years
Mhm.
old. But the other friends that I have that have 18, 19, 20, from 13 and up
Mhm.
age, I'm seeing the results of that type of thinking with these kids now.
Mhm.
How what is your breakdown or your solution to snapping people out of those tutorial modes where they're just the result because of how parents have coddled them. Now they're in position of life where life is just smacking them in their face, all type of left and right. And the parents are like, well, but it's kind of like it's your fault. You've been coddling and you're still
Yeah.
coddling at this point. How do you break that?
I think I think going back to what you said, like they are doing it wrong, you know.
Right.
Traditionally, we have taught that girls, if the avatar is a girl, that
Hmm.
we are to let the girl express the heart in the club, right? The
Right.
feelings and the thoughts. And for a
Right.
boy, we tell them traditionally they're only to express the diamonds and the spades. So right here, we're training up these kids to be half of what they're capable of expressing. You know?
Right.
So here we have the girls have suppressed their willpower and their values, you know. They're not aggressive with going out to get their money. So if that's suppressed and that child is like, Mom, I need you to have money, that girl is going to grow up and be hyper vigilant about money and power, you know,
Yeah.
because she's going to see that expressing the heart in the club makes her weak. That means that some man is going to dominate her if she doesn't have money and doesn't have a voice or some strength. And then that
Right.
boy, he's growing up with the pressure of, you know, chase money and have power. And,
Right.
and so he's like, no, I want to feel love and I want to express my thoughts. So now we have this man who grows up and he's hyper in his emotions and talking all the time because that pressure was put on him from a young child to only express, get money and power, and if you
Right.
can't do these, then you're not a man. And if she can't express heart and club energy, then that makes her masculine or whatever. She's not feminine. So
Right.
I think the solution would be to give your child the whole hand. Teach your
Yeah.
child how to express their feelings regardless of what's between their legs. You need to know how to express your emotions and your
Right.
feelings and your desires. You need to know how to express your thoughts, your opinions, and not absorb all of everybody else's opinions that don't align with you. You need to know how to make money and express your value and practice and have principles. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just accepting everybody else's uh, value on you. You need to also know how to express your power and your will. You don't walk around here
Mhm.
letting nobody think they could just be putting their hands on you.
Right.
How do I express that? So I think with my son, that's what I did differently, because I grew up in a household where everything was censored. My mama was just the Medea of Medeas. I don't care about your feelings. You ain't got no opinion. She was the prime authority in the house. And so I say, you know what?
Yeah.
When I grow up and I have my son, I'm not gonna overly censor him. I mean, he's not gonna be overly regulated, you know. But express your feelings. Tell me how you feel. And I struggle with it. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't perfect because
Right.
sometimes he'll express some feelings I wasn't prepared for. Or sometimes he express some thoughts and I'd be like, "No, we would make you say something like that." But okay, you got it out. Now we could talk about it. Or,
Right.
my husband is all about, he's a boomer. Go to work. A man's supposed to work. He's 62. So it's like I'm a millennial mom and then my son's got this boomer dad. So he's getting the best
Right.
of both worlds, the worst of
Right.
both worlds too. So he's like, a man's supposed to you be strong, go to work, you provide. And I'm like,
Right.
yeah, and my son is seeing me make money. He's seeing me express my will because I fight my husband back. Like, wait a minute, sir, hold on. So he
Right.
not seeing the docile mom that's, yes, dear. And he's not seeing that from my husband. Well, more so my husband is kind of set in his ways at this age, but I could tell that he's being reached too because he's starting to feel a little comfortable expressing his feelings and his
Nice.
thoughts with
Nice.
me and knowing that I'm not going to retaliate.
Right.
So because that probably happened to him. He went to the military. He does
Yeah.
that.
There's none of that there. There's no
Yeah,
expressing anything there.
yeah, he's that man that grew up in the 60s who was told a man's supposed to do this and that, and no crying, no this. So he's hard. But I'm like, it's
Right.
okay to cry. I've seen him cry and he's told me things and it was scary for him to express how he thought about certain things. He didn't have any training or anything like that. So here I am with Gen Z in the house, like, what's wrong with him, ma? And then, my husband is like, he shouldn't be talking like that. And I'm like, wait, 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 wait. I'm the mediator. So it's like I'm telling my son and I'm explaining to him, all right, hubby's like this because of his programming. You don't need to be like this. But I'm gonna explain why he was programmed this way and let my
Right.
my son have choice in how he wants to express. He looks at,
Yeah.
my husband and it's like, well, I see the good in this. I like that he expressed this
Right.
way, but he doing a little bit too much over here, ma. He crashing out over here. And so it's good for him to see, like, to have me here mediating so that he doesn't grow
The
up thinking,
balance. The ultimate
yes,
balance. The
for
ultimate balance.
balance.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.